Hello, everyone. Ah, let's just see if this is actually. Hello, everyone. Welcome to these messages. What am I going to say? These messages of unconditional love that support your healing, and they are being delivered today, June the 28th, the day of our Cancerian new moon. And I'm not going to excuse me, I'm not going to spend much time speaking at all about the energy, as I will be doing a um, intuitive energy update a little later. I'm just trying to move this here because I'm being told that the connection's not great. So anyways, I hope you're all doing well. It's been a minute or two since we have connected in this way, and I'm grateful to be here connecting with you today and sharing from the Sacred Heart space through which we are all connected. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Lisa Lyle, and this is I don't know what that means. Anyways, I'm going to trust that this is going. I'm going to trust. If anyone's here and you can give me a thumbs up, that would be fantastic. Let me just see. I can't see anything. All right. Anyways, I'm just going to keep going and trust that this is getting out there. So what was shared, this is an interactive reading, and if you haven't seen the image on the Wisdom of the Heart page, just a second here. I have no idea, and I don't really want to go there. So anyways, I'm going to keep trusting that this is going. So there's an image I posted on Saturday, and there were some tuning forks and 3 piles of cards. And so I am just going to get right in, and we are going to start with the left pile. So for those of you who were guided to the left, the tuning fork that was, I'm wondering if I should go in the house. I have no idea. Oh, hello. Okay, so there is people here. Oh, good evening. Good morning. Okay, so I'm going to just keep going because I don't know. I keep getting these notices from the metaverse that something's too low. Maybe it's because our vibe is too high. Who knows? Anyways, those of you who were guided to the left pile of cards, the tuning fork is the frequency 528. And so this is the frequency of miracles, DNA healing, and uplifting and aligning us with our higher self, our soul. And so I'm going to strike this 3 times just so you can get the sound. So take a nice deep breath. Beautiful. So for those of you that were guided to the left, I really feel like your higher self is calling you to connect more and to do so in a conscious way. I just want to say that I can't see the comments unless I scroll up and down, so I will respond to any comments that are posted as soon as the live is done. And I thank you all so much for being here. You inspire me to keep going on this path of the Sacred Heart and to continue to trust my journey as you do the same in your experience. So what I am feeling for the left pile is that there is a strong call for some healing. And so maybe working with the frequency of 528, the Solfeggio tones, make sure that you use those ones as they are tuned properly. Not all of our music has been tuned properly. It's actually being distorted through frequencies. So sleeping with 528 hertz playing in the background to really support the healing on a cellular and DNA level. We are in the midst of a great upgrade here on the planet, and there is much, there are many forces that are working against humanity. So we as the collective of humanity are really called to take responsibility for our heart, our minds, and our bodies as the vehicle of light that we are and that our body is. So for you, I'm working with the decks. It's called the Rainbow Warriors Oracle deck, as well as the Mystic Art Medicine Oracle and the Joyful Woman Oracle. So your first card, you would have seen the back look like this. Oh, and your first card is Northeast Promise #1. And this is beautiful to receive today on the day of the new moon, because this is really a time to set intentions. What is it that you would like to manifest? What is it that you intend to experience in your life over the coming weeks and perhaps months? We are into the back half of this Universal 6 year, 2022, and things are really amping up on the planet. And at this time, any of you who are connected to this space are really called to take responsibility for what you are bringing to the collective table day in and day out, and to really do your part to keep your vibration as high as possible. And nature really supports that, which is really why I wanted to be outside today. Unfortunately, I can't move too far from the house because of the Wi-Fi connection. But look at this image. Doesn't that look like a baby in a uterus? It's so beautiful. And so what I'm feeling for you, this is really a time of rebirth, and you're bringing something new into your life. Northeast. North really speaks to me about following your true north, following your heart. Your heart is your compass, and to follow your North Star to guide you home deeper into your heart space. And if you can see in this image here, we've got this what is to me the heart of this new life, and the spiral of grace, or the divine feminine spiral, in where our brain is. And this is how we are really being called to come back online, is to align the brain, if you will, the mind with the heart. So unfortunately, we live in an inverted reality, and at this time many are governed by the mind, and they let the mind rule. And in fact, the mind has been so distorted, and most have lost their ability to critically think and to use common sense. And so for you, I feel if you have been caught in this, what do I want to say, the polarization that is taking place right now, it's really, you're being called to come back into your heart. The East, this is Northeast, so with the East, I'm really feeling that for you, this is about daily routines. What are you doing on a day-to-day basis as the sun comes up? I'm not saying you have to be awake when the sun comes up, although that is a really beautiful time of day, and it's a great time of day to set your intentions for the day. What I'm feeling, though, that this is really about how you utilize your time while the sun is shining. You know, don't they say something, make hay while the sun is shining, or something like that? I really do feel this is about you following your true north, and then once you are clear on where it is, and what it is that you would like to see manifest in your life, walk in that direction towards your goals, your dreams on each and every day. Good morning, everyone. My boy, oh, hi, everyone. I just see there's a few of you here, so thank you so much. Isn't this awesome, though? And what I'm really feeling is, look, we originate from source. And I find the timing of an image like this coming out, I'm not sure that I've ever seen this card or I would have remembered. But the timing of this is really important as well. And during the process of writing my book, which should be out in the next, I'm hoping by the end of August. It's a long process, editing. But some stuff came up about one of the issues that's really forefront right now, and I was so like thrown off that that wording came up, that no more of these, and I was like, okay, I'll just put that. And what I want to say, what I'm feeling guided to say to you, because that has come up now, is that all of us really have to accept or acknowledge the fact that perhaps we have been deceived, perhaps we have been misled, and perhaps we have taken part in ungodly rituals without consent, and willingly sometimes and unwittingly. So what I'm really feeling guided to say, it's important. Self-forgiveness is critical at this time, and it's going to be supportive. We can't forgive ourselves in our mind. It is something that takes place within our heart space and then radiates, expands out from that space. Okay, so let's see what your next card is. Oh my gosh, the breakthrough card. This is so beautiful. And the imagery is really rather similar, isn't it? I love this. So you are in the midst of, I want to say, breaking free from the limitations that the mind imposes on us. And it's done through repetition. It is done through programming. It is done through all systems that have been created to all man-made systems that have been created under the guise of supporting the whole. I'm going to be doing more videos over the coming days because I have been receiving a lot of messages and information, and I've really held myself back because I have been in the thick of some deeper healing myself, like all of you. And so what I'm really feeling with this card is, have a look at this image. It's absolutely gorgeous. Breakthrough. And so just like this card shows that we are eternally connected to source, this is where the breakthrough happens. And if you are here alive at this time, and obviously you are if you're watching this, this is a time where we are called to really be brave. Be brave. We have to stop sitting on the sidelines watching things unfold. We are active participants in this transition for Mother Earth and the citizens of the earth, the God's children, the children of light who are here on the earth at this time. And so as we move forward through the back half of 2022, courage is going to be a necessity, and we are going to have to start raising our voices. We are going to have to start standing on our own 2 feet and standing up for ourselves. And this is how we break free from the patriarchal paradigm, which is crumbling worldwide. It's not just happening in one place. And if you live in North America, I'm really speaking to you, because although we may identify as Canadian or American, there are no borders here. In fact, there are no borders around this entire globe. North America, though, those of us in North America, this is a wake-up call. And it's going to require you to step fully into your sovereign power as eternally connected to source. This is the only way we are going to break free and through this nonsense that we have all been living within for decades, and yet really amped up in the last couple of years. Hello, Allison. Hi, Nadine. I just want to say hi to everyone. Yes, it is wicked there have been wicked things going on, and we don't really talk about that. And again, I'm not going to get into that too much here. Perhaps I will in the intuitive energy forecast that will be coming out later today and uploaded to YouTube. So stay tuned for that. So those of you that were guided to the left, this is a time of really nourishing yourself, drinking lots of water, and I have been writing words on on a cue card and facing it towards the water, and I have on this one love, God, and joy. Okay, because it really supports our vibration to raise. And so make sure you're staying well hydrated. Make sure you're eating as clean as possible. Make sure you're getting enough rest, and take some time every day to just sit in silence. And if you can do that in nature, all the better. You will feel better for it. I'm also guided to say that your guides and angels are around you at all times. And so if you're feeling a little destabilized, if you're feeling ungrounded, first of all, get to nature. Secondly, call on your guides and angels. The dogs next door don't like my laughing. But really getting into nature, allowing yourself to sit and be comforted and supported in nature, by nature, because simply we are an extension of nature, and nature is an extension of us. And if you have been feeling rather alone and unsure of your next step, please talk to your angels and your guides. And I've been receiving the message that it's time for us to connect with our higher self and call in the blessings our higher self has been holding on to for us. So if we all did that, if we all began to raise our voices in song, if because the forces that are working against us know all the things that we should be doing, and they practice them because they believe in them. So it's really time for us to begin to believe in ourselves and our power. And I believe that this this image really, oh my gosh, no, this image really speaks of our power and where we originate from. And this is a time of new beginnings. And so from the Soulful Woman Oracle, your card is the unknown. And it's number 41, which comes to a 5, and 5 is all about change. So what is it that you are being called to change? I mean, we've already know from your tuning fork that your DNA is changing, right? And you are guided to expect miracles. And this is, this woman looks incredibly strong. And when we connect it with this image, I mean, when we look at this image, it's like the unknown is out here, and yet we can only know the unknown by going deeper into our heart space. And for you, I'm being guided to say, pay attention to birds as messengers over the coming days. I feel like there is a message coming through for you. So here is your affirmation to work with. I'm going to say it 3 times because that's how I do it. I bow to the infinite intelligence of the cosmos, and my next steps are revealed. I bow to the infinite intelligence of the cosmos, and my next steps are revealed. I bow to the infinite intelligence of the cosmos, and my next steps are revealed. Trust it. Trust yourself. Trust your heart. In a world that wants us divided and fighting each other and untrusting and suspicious and in fear, it is a great, great service to be in your heart, to be trusting of God and the loving universe that supports us each and every day. Humanity wins. I will say that. Humanity does win. And God and the universe are counting on you and I to stand up for ourselves and to stand up for our divine rights and walk in righteousness. Okay? So, that's that one. The next set of cards, the frequency you got was 963, and much like the 528, it's the miracle tone. It activates the pineal gland and supports awakening, expansion. Awakening is not something that happens once and then you're done. Awakening is a daily unfolding, if you will, a daily expansion. And 963 also supports the crown chakra and expanded intuition. So here we go. I'm going to sound this for you 3 times. Okay. We still connected here? Yeah, perhaps we'll go live right after this. I'll go inside and we can go live and just talk about a lot of the stuff that's going on. If anyone's interested in that, like put a heart or raise your hand or say, yes, go live. Let's talk about what's going on because there's a lot going on and I have a lot to say. That's not unusual. Okay, so here, again, this is from the same deck as this card. Okay, from the first one. So let's see what your messages are. This is for the center, folks. Oh, I saw the last one already. Oh, okay. Chaos. Immediately, I connect with the numbers. So this is number 16, so it reduces to a 7. Chaos. Number 7 brings me to the physical body and to chakras 101, the 7 main chakras along our spine. If there's, so externally, yes, there's a lot of chaos. There's a lot of narratives that are seeking to distract and to separate you and I and to turn us against one another when in fact we're on the same side. If you're here connecting with this, I really don't care what your opinions are or what your beliefs are. I love you just the same because I understand that we are eternally connected to source, and within the cosmic web of light we are connected, so we both matter. And you know what, and also our healing matters. So you know, there's a lot of symbolism in this card. I see the Ankh, I see the upside down pyramid, which is really speaking to me about your connection to earth. It's funny because I thought that this was a clock and it's not. It's a crown on her head. And what I'm feeling for those of you that were guided to the center card, you are feeling very off kilter. You're feeling, I want to say disempowered is the word that's coming to mind. And yet I'm here to let you know that through the practice of deep breathing, you are called to clear and create space within your solar plexus chakra. And it may also be a practice of cord cutting, so you can work with Archangel Michael to cut some cords that are keeping you connected to others, keeping you connected to things back there that happened. It's really an important practice to cut cords so that you're completely in your own power. It's up to us to restore divine order through chaos and beyond the chaos. And that's a personal job. A lot of people feel like there's someone going to come and save us. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news. We are the ones that save ourselves. And we do that unified, first of all, personally in our own experience by taking responsibility for our healing, by taking responsibility for our heart. The dogs agree. And then we come together with other humans, with other people in the flesh, and we begin to Perhaps we just gather to sing and dance. Okay, has great power, singing and dancing, and singing the songs of our heart. I won't share it here. I will share in another video, though. I've been getting all these like Sunday school songs, and one came back to me yesterday that I hadn't thought about since I was a child, and so I've been singing it and teaching it to my son as we go out for our evening walk. For you, I'm really feeling it's time to come back into your body. Take responsibility for how you're feeling. And if you're not feeling good, take responsibility so that you may do things that support you to feel better, that support you to feel grounded and in your personal power. This is not a time to be giving power away. This is not a time to be pointing fingers unless you're pointing it at yourself and you're willing to do what you are being called to do. Walking the path of the heart and the spiritual path, I would say, the conscious path, it is evolutionary and revolutionary, and it's something that is a daily practice. And what you do in your day is really important. For some of you who were guided to the center pile, I'm also feeling that there's a call for you to organize within your home space. Like if you're feeling confused, if you're feeling overwhelmed, perhaps it's time to clear the clutter, because it's very clear that you are constantly receiving guidance and information from source. And so now it's time to start acting on the guidance and information you are receiving. It's not our role, and I'm as guilty of it as the next, of holding ourselves back. And over the last few years, I've done that a lot. I felt really tender, I felt really vulnerable, and I felt this need to really sort of hibernate. But bears don't hibernate for 3 years, maybe a season. So it's really time for us to reassess. And with the Cancer new moon happening tonight here in the Eastern time zone, I think it's 10:40 or something. So where you are, that could be a little bit before or a little bit behind. Really, really, really sit in contemplation. Reflect upon what you could do to help your space feel more clear, help yourself feel more clear. If you're in your head, one way to clear the mind space is to move deeper into the heart space. Look at this. I love that these are coming together. So from the Mystic Art Tarot, you got one of my favorite cards here, the Expression card. So it feels like the chaos comes from holding yourself back, or the chaos comes from getting too involved in the external distractions. And there are many, there are plenty. And yet when we go into nature, you can see this card, it just looks like Mother Earth. And perhaps in the next video I will read the messages of these cards, or I'll read them in a video and post them down below, because I really feel it's important for you to hear the messages, as they are deeply nourishing for the soul and support deep healing. As I connect with this card, remember I was saying if you're feeling chaos in your head, it's time to get into your heart. And if you look here, there is like a flower of life, or a flower of life, and then the spiral that we saw in the left card's reading, in the first card, that spiral underneath the heart. And remember, the spiral was in the headspace. Let me show you that card again, because that's really important. So here's this, and we see the spiral up in the head and then the heart. And here we see the flower of life in the heart and the spiral underneath. Okay, so the heart is meant to guide the mind, not the other way around. Okay, so really settle down into the heart space. There's a lot of opportunity here, is what I'm feeling for you. A lot of opportunity for growth and expansion. And yet you must be willing to move away from the chaotic energy, to move away from chaos and into your heart, into nature. Some of you are artists, some of you are authors, some of you are um, here as messengers, here to create. Maybe you're here to create circles of praise where there's singing and dancing, and you're bringing others together so that we can all like, there's no right or wrong way to do the spiritual path. Although I would put a what is it, a caveat there, and say if you're living from your head, then um, you're kind of missing the boat. You're missing out on a lot of good stuff. So for those of you who have been feeling like perhaps you've, through the chaos, you've moved away from the things that support you, the practices that support you, the art that supports you, this is a call for you to come back. And remember, I said that as we move through the last part of the year, and especially through this summer of 2022, many of us are going to be called to speak up and stand up. Use our voice to support. Use our voice to emit love. Use our voice to share healing. Use our voice to lift others up. There's so many folks out there that just want to do nothing but tear someone else down that has a different opinion or doesn't see things the way they do. And we must practice forgiveness in all cases, and forgiveness of ourselves too. And so if you have moved away from the things that support you, I'm feeling Archangel Michael around you a lot through this imagery. I see a peacock feather over here uh, hanging from her hair, and that always connects me with Archangel Michael and really being in our full expression. Allow your heart to be seen. Allow yourself to be seen, because you are an integral part of the way forward for humanity. You are an integral part in the victory of the light on this planetary realm. And it is not time. We have been sidelined for too long, and it's really time to come out of the shadows, or perhaps dive into your shadow so that you can come out of the shadow shining brighter than ever before. And trust your unique expression. You're not here to be like anyone else. And the final card for you is Path Awareness, number 30, which really speaks about the unified Trinity within, Divine Mother, Divine Father, Divine Child, Mother, Father, God. It also is a number of creation. So what is it? Again, it goes back to this expression. What are you here to create? I feel like you're awakening to your own inner truth. You're awakening to divine truth. You're becoming aware that you are a rainbow warrior of light here in service to the greatest and highest good of humanity. And I'm feeling guided to say you've seen the light, or you're beginning to see the light. Making sure you're grounded, planting your feet flat on the ground so that you can really draw up the strength and support that you receive from your connection to Mother Earth. And deep, deep healing. Something about your throat chakra here. Something about the throat. Perhaps there's a truth you haven't wanted to admit yet. Or perhaps there is a truth that is beginning to surface within you that you are being called to face. Whatever it is, know that you are loved and supported through your unique process. And so your affirmation, which I will say 3 times, is, if I sincerely ask, I am always guided back to the right path for me and my central purpose. If I sincerely ask, I am always guided back to the right path for me and my central purpose. If I sincerely ask, I am always guided back to the right path for me and my central purpose. Okay, I hope that resonates with you. And finally, the right card. And this was your tuning fork, and it's frequency 285 hertz. Okay, so 285 is the key of F, and this is about ground. This supports grounding spirit to matter, which we all are. Okay, you are the bridge between heaven on earth. Okay, and so remember that. When you know that, that is like, that's pretty amazing to know that each of us is the bridge to a bridge of heaven on earth. We are spirit in matter for a temporary time, and what we do while in matter greatly matters. Okay, so here's your sound. Wow, that one I really felt because that I really felt that was awesome. Okay, let me have some more water. Okay, here we go with your cards. So this is how your pile looked. And the first card out is potency. So this is number 2. So it's the card following this one. Do you see? How beautiful is that? So if you were guided to all 3 piles, or if you were guided to the right and the left, they really work together beautifully. And what I'm guided to say is you are a you are a powerful child of light. You are here to stand on your own 2 feet. You are here to be at the pillar of light that you were born to be. You are here to co-create joyfully with God and the universe. And what I'm really feeling mostly from the colors here is that there's a need for some emotional healing. So there's a need for some sacral chakra work, and that's the space between your hips. It's like there's some, if you're feeling blocked, others of you may be feeling just like this little um, uh, baby there, the baby of light. Some of you may be feeling, oh, ready to get out there and explore and expand and create in this world. Um, but some of you, there is a block in that energetic um, uh, space within your body. And so some emotional healing is called for. Some of you may be feeling incredibly sensitive, um, you know, and when we hold our emotions back, we can really, especially when we hold back sadness, we can really, it can fester until it becomes rage and anger, and it pukes and vomits all over the space, all over the place, all over people. You know that saying, hurt people hurt people. And many of us have encountered this in recent days and weeks and months. Let me just have a look here and see if there's anyone. Um, yeah. Uh, okay. All right. So what I want you to take note is the 2 sets of hands down here and the 2 sets of hands up at the top. And I'm really feeling guided to say, again, like that bridge of heaven on earth, this is the perfect image of it. Here on earth, you are guided and supported, nurtured and loved by the Divine Mother, Mother Earth, the living body of our planet, as well as you are embraced from above, the universe, the cosmos, the loving hand of um, Father God, if you will, Mother, Father God. It's hard for me to just say Father God because I feel that energy as the Trinity, but you are embraced by the universe, the unknown, here on earth, so that you can become that bridge of joy, that bridge of light, that beacon of light and hope and peace. We do no good in the world if we're spewing our unhealed pain all over the place. It's really time for us to take responsibility for our wounds, for not to say that you're responsible for inflicting them. Um, we are responsible, though, for healing them and clearing the energetic field that is our material body, our physical vessel. Okay? Ah, oh my gosh, fertility. And I do know that this is Kuan Yin. Okay? And really, like, these cards are really amazing. And so I do feel like there's something in you that wants to be brought to life. And yet, if you're holding on to old wounds, holding on to old pain, it's going to be hard to birth something new. And so really um, take care of yourself and really do your part to heal whatever's coming up for you, to clear wounds, because this just speaks of new life. Anything that you set your mind to, you can create. And knowing that this is Kuan Yin, she is the Bodhisattva of compassion. And when I began to work with her, when she came to work with me, I really had always connected with Kuan Yin, but it was about, compassion and kindness and stuff to others. And back in 2012, she um, came clearly to me, and it was about teaching me to be more compassionate and loving to myself. Because most of us can put on a good face or a good show, a good front out there in the world, and we're just farting rainbows and lollipops, right? And then we come home and we're not very kind to ourselves. We treat others one way, and then we treat ourselves in a completely different way. And this is like the masks we wear, right? Like, so it's like peeling off those masks and coming back home to ourselves and being kind and compassionate with ourselves. And right at the beginning, we spoke about forgiveness, and this is really about kindness and compassion and forgiveness of self, because we can't um, be kind and compassionate and forgive others until we have done that for ourselves. Otherwise, it's empty. If you know what I mean, it's just empty. It doesn't mean much of anything. Um, what I'm noticing here, there's a couple of stags on the ground. And again, the stag energy really speaks of divine protection. Okay, so I'm feeling guided to say to you, you are guided and protected not only by the earth plane, but up here, if you look, there's two guys, not guys, they're trees, but it's like they're standing on guard for the Canadians will know that. That's one of our words in the national anthem. I'm really feeling this is a time of deep healing for all of us. There's no way to really separate all of these messages because they all flow together. This is a time of deep healing, and we are called to get back to the purity of our heart. And this is what Kuan Yin is really speaking to me about at this time. The purity of your heart is your strength and power in this most holy hour upon Mother Earth. And this is a holy time. And it's up to us to honor all life, all life, which is holy. All life is holy. Life is holy. Lisa, what are you trying to say? Um, and to come back into the heart space so that we can, so by coming back into your heart, you're going to be able to heal anything below that space. So below the heart are the really third dimensional chakras, right? The root, the sacral, and the solar plexus. And then the heart connects us to the heavenly realms, if you will, the higher chakras. And it's through the heart that we merge the higher chakras with the lower. And it's through the heart that we heal the lower chakras so that they can come online to their highest frequency, which is the bridge of heaven on earth, the bridge to heaven on earth, which is you, which is me, which is everybody. Okay? So let's see what your affirmation is. Surrender. Surrendering. And again, we have the Ankh, which is like the womb space. If you turn the ankh upside down, those of you that know the ankh, if you turn it upside down, it looks like the uterus and the fallopian tubes and the spine, right? And so that takes me back to this. It takes me back, right back to here. And so you are being called to surrender into your inner knowing. Surrender into the truth that you are an eternal soul here having a temporary material matter experience. And so it's through the heart that we surrender, and it's through the heart that we heal. And so many who are stuck within the lower field, if you will, the lower chakras, are just wounded children who haven't been shown how to heal, who haven't been taught how to heal. And it's really about each of us healing ourselves, so that we can be guides and way showers for others who have yet to heal. This card speaks all about divine truth. And there is one thing I will say unequivocally: divine truth does not change. Our ability to accept truth changes. Our ability to understand truth changes as we continue to awaken. You are a stream of God's golden light. And when I say God, I'm not speaking of the religious understanding of God, because I know that is off-putting to many. When I speak of God, I am speaking of a consciousness stream, which we are all within. I'm speaking of source. I'm speaking of creator. God has many names depending on the belief system we were born into, or the religious organization we have been exposed to. What I really want to point out here is, like, she's wearing moons on her ear. And so for some of you, this surrendering is going to be facing the shadow, the parts of yourself that you have wanted to keep hidden from the world, the parts of yourself you may have wanted to keep hidden from yourself and not want to face. It is time to face all of yourself, because every single aspect of you is radiantly beautiful. You are a glorious child of light, here in service to the greatest and highest good of humanity, and you have gifts that you are meant to share, and you are the present who is meant to open moment to moment in the eternal now. So here is your affirmation, and I'm going to say it 3 times. And so I know I mentioned earlier about coming back and doing a live. I'm not going to do that right away, but maybe as the sun's going down, I'll come back as the sun's when it's in the backyard a little bit more. I'll come back maybe around dinner time and do a live intuitive energy update as we move into the energy of our Cancerian new moon. I see that there's 21 comments here, and we are here to change the world. So 21 is the world in Tarot, and the world is our oyster. In fact, the universe is our oyster, and we are here to co-create with the heavenly realms, the angelic realms, our most beautiful, joyful experience of heaven on earth in the now, not sometime way off in the future. And it's not up to governments or churches or schools or any organizations that are man-made to do that. It is up to you and I, the sons and daughters of the living light of God, to do that for ourselves. First in our personal experience, and then to expand out to share our gifts with the world. So for the right pile, here's your affirmation 3 times. I honor the truth and surrender as it opens me to gifts of divine grace. I honor the truth in surrender as it opens me to gifts of divine grace. I honor the truth in surrender as it opens me to gifts of divine grace. Well, I hope there was something here today that felt light in your heart, perhaps made you smile, and gives you the courage and inspiration to continue to move forward on your heart-centered path, to continue to move forward on your healing path, and to be brave to use and find your voice in service to uplift the collective of humanity. I see you, I feel you, I love you, I am another you, and I'm so grateful for your presence in my life at this time. Until next time, take good care of yourself, and remember, your heart knows the way.